Integers, long and short. Integer, we are talking about integer in C, so we need to understand that it is compiler dependent. For example, if it is a 16-bit compiler like the Turbo C or Turbo C++, the range of integer is negative and positive. These are the numbers. Why? Because integers take negative as well as positive number. So if you take 16, 2 to the power 16 to be exact, you get, if you combine these two, you get this number. Since if this is a number line, then you take 3, 2, 7, 6, 7. Here this side you have minus 3, 2, 7, 6, 8. So this is the range. Similarly for 32-bit compiler, it is 2 to the power 32, and just divide it into two parts, left, right, and I'll tell you why this number is 1 greater than this one. It's in the negative, but it is 1 greater. We'll talk about that later in the discussion. So whenever we are dealing with, say, 16-bit, this microprocessor like this Intel, so this C program, when it generates machine language code, this is targeted toward working on a 16-bit microprocessor. As we said, 8086, 8088. But if you are making program in VC++, so the 32-bit compiler, this generates a machine code which is targeted towards 32-bit compiler like the Intel Pentium. So this means that a 16-bit will work on 32-bit, 32-bit on 64-bit, but the backward compatibility is not there. Means if you have made a 32-bit program, it's highly unlikely that it is going to run on 16-bit. Just remember that out of this 2, or you can say 2 for 16-bit, 4 for the 32-bit, this is the byte which this integer take in the memory. So out of this 2 or 4 bytes, this is used to store an integer. The highest bit is used to store the sign of the integer. Highest bit is for the sign. So if you have a negative number, that means the highest bit will be 1, and if the number is positive, the higher bit will be 0. Highest bit will be 0. So there are various offerings like short and long, and the thing is that sometimes you don't want the integer is there, but you don't want that long that integer. You have the numbers, you know that in your program the numbers are going to come less, but there are possibility that you are not satisfied with integer, you want more than integer, then you have to go for a long. So short, usually in our discussion when we are dealing with the Turbo C and Turbo C++ compiler, this short takes 2 bytes and long takes 4 bytes. So short, and this totally depends on the operating system and hardware also. So let us give a least limit for that. Shorts are at least 2 bytes big, means short cannot be less than 2 bytes. Long are at least 4 byte big. That means if a long integer is being defined or declared, it is going to take at least 4 bytes in the memory. Shorts can never be bigger than integers, and integers can never be bigger than long. So if we have short, then we have integer, then we have long. So this is how it increases, the size increases. So this is the summarization. If you are dealing with 16-bit compiler, the short will be 2 byte, integer will be 2 byte, but the long will be 4 byte. If you are dealing with 32-bit compiler, short will be 2 byte, integer will be 4 byte, and long will be 4 byte. So how to declare them? Just put a long in front of that int I. Int I you have been doing a lot up till now. Just put a long here. So this long int ABC or long int I means now this long integer is taking a bigger size. So it is going to, for this example, if you take this, it is going to this I in memory wherever it is stored. If I is stored, say I has some value 3. So it is going to be stored, and this is going to take 4 bytes. How much memory? 4 bytes. But please understand, if the size is higher, the program will be bit slower. Because if you see, this is 4 bytes. So 4 byte means 4 into 8 bit, that is 32 bit. So the range goes from 2 to the power 32. This is the range. Means you take half of this on the negative side, half of this on the right side. This is how it goes. So if there are such things like things as longs, you should have something which require shorter than what is required. So this integer that needs less space in memory, which is short. So this is just to speed up, increase your execution time. So how to declare a short integer? Just put a short in front of int, short in front of int. And one more thing, short int and short, they are similar. So even if you write short int or short, they are equivalent. Even if you write long int or long, they are equivalent. So you don't need to put an int here. You can do this shorthand. And most of the C programmer, they prefer this kind of declaration in their program. Now, sometimes we may have certain situation where the constant is small enough to be an integer, but still we want a larger space. That means we want to give it much large as a long. So we are talking about constant here. Please understand, we are talking about constant. So whenever we are talking about a constant, we have to put a capital L or a small l at the end of the constant to make it like this. If this is 23 number, so you have to put a L to tell the compiler that this is a constant which is long.